the other kids, they think I'm weird.
Carrie, favorite poem? Did you bring one?
I don't want to be. I want to be normal.
Wipe that smile off your face.
I have to try and be a whole person before it's too late.
How did you make such an iconic movie fresh?
You know, I started out with a whole lot of humility and a whole lot of interest and a whole lot of love for the novel.
Okay.
I love Carrie White, the character, who is this social outcast who wants love and acceptance like we all want it, and who's up against these obstacles of these kids who give her a hard time, and her mom, who is a fantastic character but has very unorthodox ways of raising her. I love the relationship between the mother and the daughter, played by Julianne Moore and Chloe Moretz. I love that they're locked into this love affair that's a duel from the very beginning. I added a new scene in the beginning, which brings you right inside that relationship.
Your character is very complex.
Yeah.
I want to know kind of what was your preparation to get inside of her madness?
Well, luckily, I mean, I had a great book to draw from. Stephen King really maps it all out. I mean, he really tells you the whole story. He tells you about how Margaret was someone who's considered an oddball, even in her own family, and was kind of outside of everything, and then ends up joining this religious cult, which she found to be too liberal, too permissive, so leaves with the man who would become her husband, and they form their own church. Okay. So they have their own very kind of isolated community, and then he dies, and she doesn't know that she's pregnant. She thinks that she's dying. So when she gives birth to Carrie alone, she's not even expecting that. So when you have that kind of backstory to start with, it kind of gives you a lot to work with.
Did you have any particular challenges in filming this and reimagining this?
Movies are challenges. That's all they are. But seriously, I mean, look, it was challenging to bring Chloe in, who's so wildly talented and a precocious child star and who's very confident and has a very loving family. It was very challenging to help transform her into this broken young woman who is a misfit, who doesn't really have confidence, and who's kind of outside the norms of the world. That was a big journey, you know, but that's the kind of stuff I love. So we both rolled up our sleeves and we brought her deeply inside that character.
By the end of this movie, do you think that audiences will walk away feeling like Carrie is the antagonist or the protagonist?
I think she is definitely the one that is pushed. She is the one that is used. She is the one that is shoved into these situations, but at the same time, the telekinesis side of it is the one that then pulls people out of it. So when at that prom scene, you know, she's the one that is picking people up and lighting them on fire and striking them with electrical cords.
I wanted to ask you kind of about this story and Carrie's story and why it's still relevant 30 some odd years later.
I think because the subject matter, I think making horror movies or remaking horror movies, whichever, they usually work best when they're relevant topics, and I think that this would work whether there wasn't an original Carrie. You know, this is a movie that would be made today, maybe no matter what.
What I hope is that I hope you fall in love with all the characters,
Yeah.
but hopefully you fall in love with her, you identify with her, you're inside her story. You want nothing more than for her to master those powers, to go to prom, to have the most amazing night, that Cinderella story, that she falls in love with the boy, she gets to have that dance. But at the same time, you know that she's got these superpowers, and you know that those kids are gonna provoke her because that's been set up, and you know it's gonna be down. There's gonna be a duel that goes on at the prom. And I think that the anticipation and the excitement of that is what I want people to tap into.